one plant cell. Okay, we'll move to the question number 2. Which of the following tissue has the ability to divide actively and help in plant growth? So you know there is only one type of tissue which has the ability to grow. Most of the plant tissues are dead or they are permanent. They cannot grow. Okay, out of the permanent, some are living, some are dead. You all know all those things. Only the meristematic tissues have the ability to grow. So if they have given directly the answer meristematic, okay, then you can go. But here they have not given the meristematic. They have given the examples of the meristematic. So you have to be very careful. You should know everything. So there are how many types of meristematic? Quickly, someone tell me how many types of meristematic tissues are there? Three types, no? Three. A, L, and I. Apical meristem, lateral meristem, and intercalary. Like Mr. Ali, ALI. So those are the short forms you should know. ALI, PCS. You know PCS, no? Parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and XP. Xylem, phloem. So like that, ALI. Out of ALI, anyone here? Yes. Third one. Intercalary meristem. So directly you can go for the answer. So parenchyma, it doesn't come, no, it comes in, it doesn't come under meristematic. Parenchyma comes under simple permanent. Sieve tube element, it is the element of the phloem, right? Phloem there. Yeah. Sclerenchyma tissue, it is also simple permanent. So parenchyma no, sclerenchyma no, this one also no. So you're 100% confident with the answer. You can get the answer directly, and also you can cancel the others, no? So that means you are double confident with this answer. If there is any doubts, you can unmute and ask. Everyone understood this question? Okay, so not only the question is important, with the question, you can learn few other things also. Okay, so today we learned about this Ali in this question. So the answer is intercalary, but you should know there are two other apical and lateral meristems also. Harida, good. In a plant, okay, the growing parts are soft and light colored, while the mature parts are dark and hard. Okay, it is because these two parts have different types of tissue. The growing part is meristematic, and already the matured parts are permanent. The actively dividing one, that is the meristematic part, they have three types: apical, lateral, and intercalary meristem. So understood with the question, we go for a little bit of theory, and then you have understood that part, no? Okay, then question number 3, which of the following meristematic tissue is present in the shoot tip of the plant? Okay, shoot tip, you have root tip, shoot tip. Shoot tip kya the tip of the, okay, the branches, the tip of the parts where it is growing from top. Root tip is the tip of the root. In shoot tip and root tip, okay, those are known as the shoot apex and the root apex. Shoot apex, root apex. All those are related to the apex. It is the apical meristem. Okay, so the examples of apical meristems: shoot apex, root apex, and the axillary bud, right? So here they are asking about the shoot tip. Shoot tip means shoot apex. So it should be apical meristem. Can you understand? Due to the activity of the apical meristem, that is the shoot tips and the root tip, what happens to the plant? The height of the plant increases. This is common to monocot and dicot plants. Okay, the other two tissues, that is the lateral, it is only present in dicot, and the intercalary, it is only present in monocot. So apical meristems are the tissues which are present in monocot and dicot, common to both. And also those are there in the shoot apex and the root apex, and the other part is the auxiliary bud. Hope you all understood. Fourth, okay, now this is the shoot apex, okay, and the root apex. Root apex, you have apical meristem. Shoot apex also, we have the apical meristem. Okay, you all can look at the oh, sorry, what is this? Okay, you all can have a look at the picture. Okay, students, every week I will send the question paper to you. Okay, most probably I will try my maximum to send it in Monday evening. Okay, then you have Monday evening time, and if you are not going to school, then you have Tuesday morning, Tuesday evening, and Wednesday morning, and Wednesday evening, and Wednesday night 7 o'clock we will come for the discussion. So in the discussion only I will explain the answers and these pictures. These pictures and the answers will not be sent. Okay, only the questions will be sent. So don't ask if you miss the class. Also don't ask me for this answer sheets, because that one I have kept it, because if I give that, then no use. Students will just, they won't listen properly in the class. So all what you need, I will explain and I will show in the picture. You take down notes. Don't think paper class, you can nicely relax and wait. Okay, paper class also, hereafter you will be able to understand. We will have a pattern, 10 MCQs, 2 essays, 2 structured. Okay, we will come to that. In 1 month only you will get used to that. Until that we will do MCQ, then essays, like that we will be going. Anyways, after our full format comes, okay, every week you should have the answer. And there you should maintain a separate book to write the discussions of the answers. So paper number 1, first question, what do you learn from that? ALI, A for apical lateral. Then second question, what did you learn? Lateral meristems are there, here, there, like that. You have to have a question answer book. The ones who did like this are the people who improved in their results. Just coming like theory classes, just coming and listening paper classes and going without doing the paper, without doing the discussion, then no use. You're just wasting your time and your money. Okay, I am getting rich, you will be paying money, but you won't be gaining anything. So if you want to gain, you also from your part, okay, you should do the questions before the discussion, paper discussion, and while doing the discussion, you should maintain a book and write all the things. Okay, this one's recording I will put commonly because everyone can watch it. This will come in 3 parts because 40 minutes now. So 3 sessions, 3 recordings. I will send it in the group. You can share it with your friends and encourage them and tell them to come to our paper classes. But from hereafter, the recordings won't be there. So you have to attend the class to understand everything. Okay. If you have a very hard situation and if you can't come, if you can't come to class, you have to inform me, then only I will keep the recording, or else no recording for anyone. You have to come to class, physically be present, okay, online, and then get the discussion. If you have any problems, you can discuss. Okay, good. Then question number 4. Most of you all wouldn't have got this question because the paper which I send, it is starting from 7. So now you can read the question. What is the name of the tissue shown as X in the diagram? Okay, so here they have shown X, and X is some ring like this. Can someone tell me what is the answer? Unmute and tell the
Cambium
answer.
tissue.
Cambium tissue.
Okay, very good.
Cambium tissue. Cambium tissue.
Sorry. Very good. Okay.
Enough.
Okay, so you all are active, no? Because I gave a cunning question, apical ring. Because normally this cambium tissue, it is when it is like the ring, it is known as the cambium ring. So if the students only remember the ring, they will go for apical ring. So that is wrong. Okay, the correct answer is cambium tissue. This is only present. Okay, now come to this picture. This is more clear. Okay, this cambium tissue is only present in dicot plants. Okay, I have told you the dicot stem is like the pizza, no? Phloem on this side, xylem on this side. Phloem outside, xylem inside. And in the middle part is known as the pith. You all know that, right? The outermost covering. What is the name given to the outermost covering? Can you all remember?
Epidermis.
Someone is saying something.
Epidermis.
Hari, very good. Epidermis. Okay, very good. Inner to the epidermis, you have the cortex. This is epidermis. Epidermis. You all write the proper spelling. Then we have the cortex. Okay. And then inner to the cortex, the first layer is phloem, and then you have the xylem. Inner to the xylem, the middle part is pith. Can you remember when we were learning the location of the parenchyma? We studied cortex and pith of dicot stem and monocot root. So this is the dicot stem, cortex and pith. What is the tissue present there? Parenchyma tissue. Okay, parenchyma tissue. Then this ring going in between the xylem and the phloem, it is known as the cambium ring. It is made out of cambium tissue. Cambium tissue comes under what topic? Under lateral meristem. Okay, it comes under lateral meristem. So lateral meristem is only making the tree to become fat and fat. Okay, we call it the increasement of the girth. How is it happening? Because new cells from the cambium are coming to this side and this side, therefore the thickness is increasing. The tree is becoming fat. Okay, this is the overview. Some students don't know what is overview or the transverse section. Now this is the plant. Can you see the tree? And you're cutting it like this. And you're observing from the top. Okay, the cut part you're observing from the top. Then only you can see this. Really you can't see, you have to keep a microscope and see. So these are structures which you will be able to see. Epidermis, cortex, phloem, xylem. In between the phloem and xylem, you have the cambium, and then the middlemost part is the pith. Not pit, pith, okay? So I hope you understood. If you want, you can take draw this picture and keep it. Take a screenshot and keep. After that, draw it and maintain it in your book, paper discussion book. Harine, move on to the next one. What is the name of the meristem present in the nodes of the monocot plant? So you know, that's why normally the where is the picture? Okay, I think there is okay, now you all can hear, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these nodes are present in monocot tissues. The space between the nodes.
Sir, your voice is getting stuck, sir.
Node. This is present in monocot plant. The thing is, okay, I think there is a connection issue. Okay, students, I hope you all can hear me. There was a small connection issue and the screen went off. Can you all hear me? I think all are muted. You all can unmute. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, can.
Okay, good. So this is coming under intercalary meristem. So from the ALI, I is related to intercalary meristem that is only present in monocots. So those are the nodes. Due to the growth of the node, what will happen? The length of the internode will increase. So everywhere there are nodes. That's why the monocot trees, coconut tree, bamboo tree, all those are really tall. Okay. So the answer for the fifth one is intercalary meristem. Question number 6. Which of the following tissue helps in the lateral growth, secondary growth of the plant, which help in the increment of the girth of the plant? This one I already explained. No, what is it? The
Cambium tissue.
cambium tissue, the cambium ring. Because with the help of the cambium ring only, the plant is becoming thick and thick day by day. So this cambium is there, okay, only in dicot plants. So that's why the dicot plants, when you look at a mango tree, it can become fat. But can a coconut tree become fat? No, it has a certain amount. After that, it doesn't become fat because it does not have this cambium tissue, and therefore secondary growth does not happen in monocot. Secondary growth only happens in dicot. That is also due to cambium. What is the meaning of secondary growth? Becoming fat. Okay, that is actually the girth, increment of the girth. Hope you all understood that is done by the cambium tissue. So this is the picture of the dicot stem. Dicot stem, and this is the picture of the monocot stem. Can you see in monocot stem, you don't have the cambium ring. You just have vascular bundles. The xylem and phloem together, it is known as vascular bundle. In the dicot stem, it is arranged. In the monocot stem, it is just scattered here and there. So dicot, monocot, the differences. One is the vascular bundle is arranged in a circular method. In monocot, the vascular bundles are scattered here and there. Hope you understood. We'll move to the 7th one. So most of the students who got the PDF, they would have started from here. Which of the following is not the location of the parenchyma tissue? If they ask you for the location, so you all can manage, you all know few. But if they're asking which one is not the location, then you should know all the locations of the parenchyma. So you have to be very careful. Cortex and pith of dicot stem. Correct, no? Cortex and pith of dicot stem and the monocot root. Because in the monocot root also there is a cortex, there is a pith. That is also correct. So that is correct. Here they're asking which is not, no. So first we'll tick all the correct places, and the one which is remaining, it will be the answer. Fleshy part of the fruit and endosperm of the seed. Yes, the fleshy part of the fruit, it is made out of parenchyma, and the endosperm of the seed, that is inside the seed, there is a part which is giving nutrients to the plant, to the seed, that is also parenchyma. Then leaf vein and the fibrous part of the fruit. Normally this leaf vein, okay, it is little bit thicker than the normal part of the leaf, no? So this leaf vein is made out of collenchyma. Okay, it is made out of collenchyma. And the fibrous part of the fruit, it is made out of sclerenchyma. Fiber means that like thread parts are there when you're eating the mango. In the mango, like hair parts are there. In the coconut, outside fibers are there. Those are sclerenchyma. So from this you can understand this may be the answer. We will look at the 4th one also. Spongy mesophyll and pellucid mesophyll present in the leaf. They are 100% parenchyma, and photosynthesis is mainly happening in those cells. Understood, right? So here the answer is leaf vein and fibrous part of the fruit. They are not parenchyma, because leaf vein is what tissue? Yeah, collenchyma, and fibrous part of the fruit, okay, it is sclerenchyma. Hope you all understood. So these are the locations of parenchyma. All the locations other than this, parenchyma will not be there anywhere. cortex and pith of dicot stem and monocot root, fleshy part of the fruit. Okay, leaf mesophyll, spongy and palisade, endosperm of seed, ground tissue of monocot stem. Hari ne? Good. Then we'll go to the 8th question. Which of the following tissue is not present in monocot plants? Okay, then you should know the ones which are present. Hari. Okay, here also nice cunning question. Which of the following tissue is not present in monocot plants? Okay, this parenchyma, they have given common, no? It is there in the leaf, it is there in the roots, in dicot stem it is there, monocot root it is there. So monocot it is there. Anyway, somewhere it is there. So parenchyma is there in the monocot plants. So that is not the answer because they are asking which is not present. Sclerenchyma, when you take the fiber part in coconut, you have fiber. So the fiber part has sclerenchyma. So that is there. When you look at apical meristem, I told you shoot apex, root apex, it is there in monocot, dicot, everywhere. So out of this, okay, none is not present. All are present. Therefore, you have to go for the answer, none of the above. Okay, then tell me what is the tissue which is not present in monocot plants? There is only one tissue which is not present in monocot plants. What is that?
Cambium.
Intercalary.
Yeah, intercalary meristem. That is out of the apical tissues, it is not there. And out of the permanent tissue, remember, collenchyma is not there. Okay, collenchyma is only present in dicot, that is also in the dicot leaf and dicot stem, not in the dicot root. So then you can say there are two tissues which are not present in monocot plants. One is the not intercalary, I forgot lateral. Someone said intercalary, so I also said intercalary. It is lateral. Okay, that is the cambium, and the other one is collenchyma. Harina, understood?
Yes, sir.
Good. Then the 9th question, name the tissue shown in the diagram A and B. Now here it is colored and you can see nicely. In your whole level paper, be careful, it will be just black and white. Okay, so you have to get adapted to that also. Okay, when we are doing past papers, you will be able to understand. Sometimes the English is also a problem because O-level paper, you have to remember, they make it in Sinhala and then they convert it to English. So some people, when translating, there are mistakes. Normally in a paper, you will find 4 or 5 mistakes, English grammar mistakes. So we can't be arguing with that. What they are telling, we have to try to understand and we have to get the correct answer and we have to do it, or else they won't, just because they made a grammar mistake, they won't give free marks. A-level paper, it's not like that. A-level paper is originally made in English and then converted to Sinhala and Tamil. But the O-level paper, it is made in Sinhala and then converted to English and Tamil. So sometimes you might get grammar mistakes, and the other one is picture. Okay, sometimes you will get unclear pictures. You have to adapt yourself and you have to go according to them. Good. Then A, what is it? B, what is it? When you look at it, how do you feel? In B, okay, you can see there are, okay, well, look at the B part. In B, you can see this. Can you see these holes? I don't know whether you all can see it. Okay, those are the empty lumens. And there are small like drains or small canals. Those are known as the pits. So these pits also there. So normally it is the sclerenchyma. Okay, and A, when you look at A, when you look at the shape, it is little bit like hexagonal shape, right? Like a beehive. So normally the beehive is present in collenchyma. Okay, so most probably we can go for that answer. That is the collenchyma and the sclerenchyma. Even with the colors pictures, we are a little bit confused, no? So if it is black and white, you will be some more confused. But anyways, you have to adapt yourself in order to do this kind of question. So the final answer is collenchyma and sclerenchyma. So this is the explanation. Simple permanent tissues, there are 3 types. PCS. P for parenchyma, C for collenchyma, and S for sclerenchyma. With this, all 3 you can understand properly. But when they suddenly give 2, you will have a confusion. These tissues are made up of single types of cell. Okay, these are the following: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Okay, so you all also repeat this 2 or 3 times, then only it will come to the mouth. Sometimes when I suddenly ask a question from the students, they can't even produce these words. That's because they have not said this before. I'll tell you one trick. First, you should pronounce the words from your mouth, then only it will go to your mind. Okay, so by some students, by reading loud, they are studying. That is one good method. So what I am telling my students is, first understand the method which is best for you. Some students, they write and study, especially girls. When they write only, they will understand. Some students are there, they will draw it. They will draw a picture. They will put a mind map. So like that, there are many learning techniques. First, you have to learn the learning techniques, and you should find out your method, which is best for you. And then only you can go for the others. Then only you can study. So we have 5 minutes remaining. In 5 minutes, our session will finish. Then you all can take a 10 minutes break and then come. We can go until 9 o'clock. Yeah. So we'll go to the 10th question. Name the tissue having the following features. What are the features? All features should be there. Living cell, isodiametric in size. Living cell, isodiametric in size. When the first point is given itself, you can think in the mind. Living cells means either it is apical cells, it's a meristematic tissue, or out of the simple permanent tissue, it should be parenchyma or collenchyma, because sclerenchyma is dead, no? So it won't come. Hurry. Anyway, second one, evenly distributed thin cell wall present. That means thin cell wall should be there. It should not be thick. Can involve in photosynthesis and storage function. So storage function and thin cell wall, evenly distributed cell wall, living, isodiametric, all those are present in, when look at the answers, okay, it is present in parenchyma tissue. When you look at the first two points, that is living cell, isodiametric, evenly distributed thin cell wall, that is also common to apical meristem. But with the third one, C, involved in photosynthesis and another function, storage function, with the function only you can guess it is parenchyma, because meristematic tissue, their only function is dividing and growing, not storage, not photosynthesis, nothing. So therefore, parenchyma tissue is the best answer here. Hope you understood. Now the students, you all know where you are, where your mistakes. Some students, they study 100%, but in the paper they can't answer because they can't correlate. They have studied the unit only. They have studied the theory only. They have not analyzed the theory. Compare parenchyma with collenchyma. Compare collenchyma with sclerenchyma. Compare the simple permanent tissue with complex permanent tissue. Compare meristematic with permanent. Like that, they have not done the comparison. Therefore, sometimes when answering the question, they feel problems. So in the paper classes only, when you do the paper only, you will know these common mistakes. In theory, even if I explain, you won't understand what is this common mistakes which you make. Okay, so you have to do more papers. With the papers only, you will understand the subject more clearly. Okay, so you all know about parenchyma, right? So the answer is parenchyma for this. Then we'll move to the next question. I don't know whether we'll be able to complete it. We have only 2 minutes remaining. Sclerenchyma tissue is dead due to which of the following causes? Nice question. Out of the parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, we know sclerenchyma is dead. Parenchyma living, collenchyma living. Why is the sclerenchyma dead? I have told you it has the secondary cell wall. Primary cell wall is there. On top of the primary cell wall, another cell wall, secondary cell wall will grow. When the secondary cell wall grows, in that secondary cell wall, there is a lipid. What is the name of the lipid? My
Lignin.
students, they should be able to.
Lignin.
Lignin. Application of this lignin is known as lignification. When lignification of cell wall happen, the water can't go in, therefore the inner structures will die. Initially, sclerenchyma was living, but due to lignification, it became dead, and the places where the cell vacuole, all those were there, it became empty. Okay, can you all understand? Initially, it was living, and then lignification occurred. Due to lignification, water can't go in. Due to that, the plant, due to that, the plant cell wall will become dead, and the inner structures will become empty. That is known as the empty lumen. So all those are happening due to lignification of the cell wall. So that's why the cell is becoming dead. Can you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you have any doubts, you can ask. So sclerenchyma, you know it is dead. Due to that, later in xylem phloem, it forms tubes and all those things you all have studied. Good. Then question number 12. Pits can be found in which of the following plant tissue? Always remember, pits are found in dead cells, or else some students, they don't know pits because they are not learning that under their theory. Their teachers, some teachers, they are not teaching. Okay, pits means Puta. I don't know whether you all know. Okay, when the primary cell wall is there, primary cell wall, secondary cell wall, there are two things. Normally, plant cells will have primary cell wall. What are the components of the cell wall?